You are a unique creation of God. If you don't believe in God, that's okay, you're still a unique creation of the universe or nature, whichever resonates more with you. If you desire to be happy and fulfilled in every aspect of your life, health, finances, relationships, and more, the only thing you need to do is to be yourself. Yes, it really is that simple. Just be yourself. They say that even a flawed original is far superior to a perfect copy. This statement holds much truth. The primary reason we suffer in life is because we hesitate to embrace our true selves. We often try to be someone else. We mimic others, thinking we are not good enough to express ourselves authentically in the world. This is a crucial mistake. It's the worst thing we can do to ourselves and to the world. By doing this, we merely proliferate inadequate, unoriginal imitations, creating a collective graveyard of unexpressed talents, uniqueness, and joy. What a pity and what a loss. Please understand that what I am sharing is not just a theory. This is one of the most practical truths on earth. If you listen carefully and open your heart, you will discover a secret that has the power to open doors and transform your life entirely and forever. This is not an exaggeration. This is reality. The amusing part is that this so-called secret is incredibly obvious and natural. You may not even realize it. This proves the famous adage, if you want to conceal something, place it in plain sight. This secret pertains to the practical implementation of the seemingly abstract advice to be yourself. What does it truly mean to be ourselves when most of us have no clue about who we actually are? For many, despite hearing this advice from every corner, it can be genuinely confusing. Let me clarify what it means and, in doing so, reveal the greatest secret of life to you. Jesus said, "Do what your soul strives for, and don't do what it detests." Please note that this is not a theory, fairy tale, or allegory. This is direct instruction. It is a command, if you will, a command to be happy. By following this guidance, happiness is inevitably yours. There is no way around it. Moreover, this is the only way to achieve happiness, and it is a fundamental, universal law that operates perpetually, precisely, and immediately. Jesus also said, "Don't worry about tomorrow." He emphasized, "Don't concern yourself with sustenance." He further proclaimed, "Ask, and you will be given." You cannot imagine how straightforward he was in delivering these messages. When you sincerely and naturally pursue what your soul and heart desire, whatever that may be, you don't need to worry or think about anything. Everything has already been granted to you: money, shelter, friendships, resources, you name it. Imagine how wondrous and joyful your life could be. Here is a simple and immediate interpretation of Jesus' message. Do only what brings you joy, and don't do anything else. No excuses. If you follow your natural joy, that's it. You're in heaven. I'm not joking. It is literally that simple. This is precisely what being yourself means. Following your joy. It's a straightforward and obvious mechanism instilled in us by God to provide natural motivation to express, implement, and develop our unique destinies and talents. And it is so easy. So another significant advantage of following your joy is effortlessness. In fact, it takes a great deal of effort to avoid doing joyful things. We all knew this innately as children, which correlates directly with Jesus' teaching. You will not enter heaven until you become like children. Another name for this secret is love. When you love yourself and do what you love, you will live a life full of love and joy. Full to such an extent that you will have no choice but to share this burden with the rest of the world. That is God's plan for us. Imagine all people living in love and joy, not just for themselves, but also sharing it freely and endlessly. God wants us to be surrounded by tons of love and joy. Additional tip here related to the commandment, love your neighbor as yourself, is that before you try to love others, you need to love yourself first. You need to fill yourself with love and joy. Otherwise, you will have nothing to share with others. You'll just not be able to love anyone. And again, what does it mean to love yourself? How to do it exactly? The answer is the same. Do only what brings you joy and nothing else. Creativity and originality are vital keys in this process. Our souls resist conformity because they are as inherently creative as their creator, God. This doesn't imply that we all need to become Einsteins, Teslas, or Beethovens. Not at all. It simply means that every day we can appreciate something new and wondrous around us. New people, new experiences, new lessons learned, new leaves on trees. These things change every day, don't they? From new expressions or movements from your children, everything we observe contributes to our creativity, because by merely observing we virtually create our own, unique world. And the fresher our perception, the more creative we become. King Solomon once said, or perhaps it was someone else, doesn't matter. There is nothing new under the sun. This suggests that, in essence, everything remains unchanged and unchangeable. The sun will always be the sun. Water will always be water. What we can do is introduce interesting upgrades to what already exists or has been accomplished by our predecessors. This is how a clay jug for water evolved into a plastic bottle, and a horse-drawn wagon became a Mercedes. Even the iPhone stayed true to the foundation established by the abacus. Our creativity also allows us to approach ordinary tasks in ways that are uniquely our own, which will always resonate with others. There may be countless barbers in the world, but you have a preference for one over another, and similarly with doctors, singers, music styles, and more. For instance, this very material was delivered by Jesus centuries ago, then echoed hundreds of times by many individuals, yet I still felt compelled to share it with you. Why? First, it remains relevant, perhaps even more so now than ever. Second, I am conveying it in my own unique way, which will surely resonate within some hearts and minds. If it touches just one heart, I will find fulfillment. Each of you approaches various activities in your own unique way. There's no need to create something entirely new, as that's simply impossible. Remember, there is nothing new under the sun. What you can and should focus on is expressing familiar concepts in your distinct manner. And masterpieces arise only from fields that genuinely interest you, regardless of what they may be. Be it music, cars, writing, acting, cooking, gaming, or anything else. If you feel that you don't particularly like anything right now, that's perfectly fine. Allow yourself to do nothing and enjoy it. The reality is that engaging in numerous activities you dislike may have caused you to forget and suppress those that truly bring you joy. So, take a break and relax. Don't worry. This phase of inertia won't last forever. Eventually, you will find the urge to do something again, but it will be aligned with what you genuinely enjoy. That's how you will rejuvenate and set yourself on the path to happiness. Now let's see what most of us typically do in life. We fear expressing ourselves authentically, we ignore our natural interests and passions, and we suppress our pursuit of joy using the excuses like, I don't have time for that, I'll not get paid for that, I need to work, it's improper, or this is childish. We attempt to mimic others, conforming to what is deemed normal or trying to be like everyone else. This leads us to engage in actions we dislike or even hate. We betray and oppress ourselves. We often choose the work we don't like, and thus effectively kill our souls. What can we share with others after that? We abandon our destinies, our missions, our higher purpose, if you will. Ignoring the path of joy leads to a misuse of our true purpose. It's like using a brand new special edition Mercedes for agricultural work or a tractor to bake tiramisu. I'm sure you grasp the analogy. If God possesses emotions, one can only imagine how distressed he must be by our self-management. But it's likely that he simply laughs at us, without malice of course, just as we laugh at our children's clumsy attempts to accomplish basic tasks. Again, if you're uncomfortable with spiritual language, simply observe nature. Do you see any flowers attempting to become trees? Are there any bees trying to be bears? Does the river exert effort to flow? Does the sun toil to shine or the rain to fall? No, there is no effort at all. They simply and joyfully fulfill their functions as created, each in their original way, showcasing great variety. No two things or creatures in the world are fully identical. It appears that we, as humans, are the only beings attempting to go against our true nature. A person who dreams of music may become a doctor, while an innate artist might find himself in the role of an accountant or a politician. This divergence from one's authentic self leads to a society that, despite all its progress and advancements, remains a rather sad and chaotic place. When individuals suppress their passions and ignore their true callings, it not only affects their own happiness, but also contributes to a collective sense of discontent and imbalance in the world. Jesus said, "The soul which sins is the dead soul." I trust you can now understand the meaning behind this if you recognize that sin refers to doing something against your soul's will. Therefore, every time you engage in an action you do not genuinely want to do, you are committing a sin. With each such act, you become increasingly detached from life. Conversely, every move toward joy revitalizes you, enhancing your happiness, life energy, and love. And this naturally attracts all the material resources you require, effortlessly. In other words, the only path to becoming rich in all senses without sacrificing your soul or health is to do what you love. In conclusion, if you desire to be happy, healthy, and prosperous, the single most important thing you need to do is to be yourself. Embracing your true self means engaging in activities that bring you joy, pursuing your natural interests and passions, and appreciating your own uniqueness instead of trying to imitate others. In other words, your only responsibility and purpose in this life is to bring joy to your soul, nothing else. There is no need to worry about material aspects of life. They will naturally manifest for you without any effort on your part. Focus on what brings you happiness, and the rest will follow.